Takes on awarded. As we see here in Harambe, that means let's go. So Jumbo everyone, my name is Bree and I'll be your safari guide for the next 2 weeks here on the Harambe Wildlife Reserve. Take a look above you. You're going to see an animal spotting guide. That's going to help you easily identify the animals that we're going to be seeing here on the reserve. Yeah, but if you have a couple of rules for everyone, rule number 1, just remain seated throughout your entire trip. Por quedas sentados y ficar sentado. It's really bumpy out here. I don't want anyone to fall out. The animals also love to get in front of these trucks, and sometimes we'll have to step on these brakes. And again, like I said, I don't want anyone to fall out. Now, my second rule: no cat calling to these animals, so no kissing noises, whistling noises, or my least favorite, the none of that. Please don't do that. The animals don't really like it. I also don't really like it. And we just want to be as respectful as we can as we drive around their homes. And also remember, it is a photo-taking safari. So try to get as many pictures and videos as you can. We just won't stop for every single animal. If it would only be for a couple of seconds, or we'll drive by very slowly. So if you see your favorite animal coming up, just have your camera or cell phone out in ready. So we're going to wait right here until we get the all clear from the warden. So just out of curiosity, anyone's first time ever on the safaris for some members? One hand up there, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, welcome friends. For those who are returning, welcome back. Now for those who have been here before, can anyone tell me what that animal is that's on the side? It has 2 horns, a tail, 4 legs. And the winner who guesses correctly can sit in the passenger seat. Just kidding, you can't do that.
I think it's a warthog.
I'm looking on the map. I don't know. Warthog. I mean, I can see how it looks like a warthog, but it's not a warthog. Can you use your spotting guide? An elephant? No. Also another good guess. Okay, don't worry guys. If we see that animal out there, I'll point it out for everyone. The first area that we're now entering is called the Little Interior Forest, where the majority of the animals are on the shy and reclusive side. So let's see what we can find. Okay, so over on the right-hand side is the okapi. So the okapi, again, is the one that looks like it's trying to copy a zebra, but it's actually related to the giraffes, and it has a very similar skull structure. So what I mean by that is, if you look at the forehead, it's flat, but male okapis have ossicones. For those who don't know what ossicones are, it's those little furry antennas that giraffes have on the top of their heads, so that's how they're related. They also were considered a myth out in the wild until they were discovered in 1901 by researchers. Also on the right-hand side on the ground, sitting a little funny, are the saddle-billed storks. So they can be as tall as 5 feet with a wingspan of 9 feet long. Instead of vocalizing to one another, they're just going to rattle their bills to communicate with each other. As another animal, 2 of them, 3 of them? Yeah, 2 of them are just standing up on this hill on the right. They look like deer, but their forest type of antelope is called the greater kudu. So all 3 of them are females. Male kudu have horns, and their horns spiral a little bit like curly fries, but since there's no curly fries, then they're females. They're very beautiful. Now guys, coming up on the left is the black rhino. And black rhinos weigh around 3,000 pounds. They're just a little smaller than the white rhinos, and they prefer to live in solitaries by themselves. And they are being poked each and every single day for their horns. They're much known to have these magical healing powers, but that is not true at all. The only thing that those horns can heal is keratin, just about taking your fingernails in hair. There's only about 5,000 of them left in the world, that number decreasing each and every single day. It's very sad. Oh, now over on the right, hiding extremely well, they're on the top hill. There's like an orange-reddish coat with white stripes. They're called the bongos. You have to look really closely. So they are known as the ghosts of the forest, and they are rarely ever seen out in the wild. I mean, you can barely even see them right now. Yes, if you were ever to play hide and seek with them, it's going to take you a really long time to find them, especially in the water. And so we're going to keep on heading forward. There is still plenty to see out here. The next ecosystem that we're heading into is called the Safi River. It comes to a lot of aquatic animals. If there's any of them that are swimming within the water, or maybe even just hanging out inside the water. Okay, we're already starting to see a couple of hippos. They're going to be on your right-hand side here, where those broken logs are kind of sticking out. And hippos are nocturnal animals. They're going to spend most of their days submerged underwater to prevent any overheating. So they are much more active at night. The rest of them are going to be over here on the left-hand side. That's a whole group of hippos is called a float. Yeah, a float makes a lot of sense. And there's But if they stay out in the sun for too long, their skin will start to turn red. So it'll look like a sunburn, but it's an ooze that will smear out of its skin. And that ooze life is a great bugger pellet, so it's a natural sunblock on their baby. Look at that one sleeping. So a lot of them will sleep with their faces sticking up a little bit, which allows them to hear outside of the water, but also within the water, since sound waves will bounce off their jawlines. And if you look on the island, there's some pink-backed pelicans. They get the pink colorization on their backs throughout the mating season, and their wingspans are around 7 to 9 feet. But one way that the female pelican will choose its mate, the male pelican, will bring the female a branch, and if the female decides that branch is worthy enough, then it becomes the foundation of its nest. So imagine going up to the person that you like and here's a branch. Yeah, they have it really easy. We're about to cross over Crocodile Bridge. Another reminder for everyone to remain seated. But if you look on the left-hand side, you're going to see a giant crocodile. They're about 16 feet long. They also weigh around 500 pounds. Their main source of food is fish, but they are known to attack and consume any creature that is twice its size that comes along its path. See, two of them have their mouths open right now. After that, to release any heat that is trapped in its body, just to help them cool down. As we leave the South River, we're going to start making our way into the savannah. The savannah is home to a lot of famous animals like lions, giraffes, and elephants. So hopefully we get to see all of them, maybe even more as we go throughout this next part. So it's split up into two sections, the western and the eastern savannah. So we're first going to go through the western. And it's really big. It's actually the biggest part here on the ecosystem, on the reserve. But actually, before we head in there, take a look towards the right. We're going to see a funny looking tree. That is called the baobab tree. So that tree can remain leafless for up to 9 months out of the year to help it conserve water. It's going to store most of that water within its trunk. But one really cool thing that elephants like to do with them, they puncture holes into them by using their tusks, and they will drink the water that is stored inside. Every time I visualize that, I imagine kind of like a Capri Sun pouch in a way. So it's kind of the same thing. So what we're going to do next, we're going to go all the way up and all the way down the entire savannah just to make sure that we don't miss any of these animals. And the closer that we get to them, the more I'll tell you guys all about them. Yeah, there is one of the giraffes hanging out over here on the right-hand side. There's about 9 different species of giraffe in the world. So the one that we're looking at right now is the Maasai giraffe. The easy way you can figure that out is you gotta look at their spots. They're really messy and rough around the edges. Kind of look like jigsaw puzzles in a way. But don't worry guys, there's still a lot of them just on the other side. So we'll get to them pretty soon. Just remember, just like us, these animals don't like to stay out in the sun for too long. The sun, of course, will eventually start to irritate their skin, coats, and fur. So a lot of them are going to be hiding. These next guys are a little hard to see. So if you look on the left, there's that really big tree. To the left of that big tree is an even tinier tree. But in between both trees are some, they look like hyenas, but they're African wild dogs. Also known as the painted dogs. Now they're led by a male and female alpha who will do the majority of the breeding for their pack. They are the most successful pack hunters in Africa. Their success rates are around 80 to 90%. It's a whole lot higher than the lions. They can even chase their prey up to 3 miles away or until they fall from exhaustion. So they look like hyenas, they also look like dogs, but they don't really sound like them. They kind of sound like squeaky toys. And it's a little hard to believe, but definitely look up that sound when you guys get home. It's so cute. Now remember how I was making you guys guess that animal on the sign? That's them on the left. The sable antelope, they are the emblem of the Harambe Reserve. So they're kind of like our mascot here. So before we get to these giraffes, we're going to pass by a couple termite mounds. They're made out of saliva, spoil, and dung. This one over here on the left probably takes about 5, maybe 6 years to make. So it does harden in the sun and be as hard as concrete. So here's just a good look at one of the giraffes over here. We're also going to stop by the babies up ahead too. These giraffes sleep for 30 minutes of their day. We're going to spread out those 30 minutes into tiny little power naps. The rest of the time you'll spend it walking around or eating, but mostly eating. They can consume around 75 pounds worth of food every single day. Now, I'm a little confused why she's over here by herself. She is the youngest baby out of the 5 that are on the reserve. The rest of the 4 are over here on the left. She's only about a couple months old, so I'm surprised she's not near her mom right now. But she's only about 2 months old, 2.5 months old. And the other ones are over here on the left. Let's stop next to them. But one baby giraffes are first born. They stand around 6 feet tall. But they're fully grown about 16 to 20 feet tall. So just keep that in mind. The giraffes get hurt standing up. It's a really long jump. These babies are when they're first born. It's about a 6 or 7 foot drop. Oh, they are so cute. Look how cute they are, guys. Also very curious creatures. A lot of them like to sit near the trucks and watch them go by all day long. Yeah, they're awesome. I love them. There's going to be a couple more giraffes over here on the right-hand side. One's actually just laying down on the ground. The others are kind of up on that tree. Oh, they're kind of everywhere. There's a lot of them here. Group of giraffes is also called the tower.
Oh. That makes sense.
It does make sense.
A group of giraffes called the tower. I still like the bloat. That's my favorite.
The bloat one? Yeah, pelicans is pod. Elephants is memory. Cheetahs is coalition, not Cheetos. Because I always love asking kids, what's the name of a group of cheetahs? And they're like, Cheetos. And I'm like, yes and no. I'll step next to this one over here. Yeah, so this one's trying to eat from the tree, as you can see. Their tongues, we'll use their tongues. They're about 18 inches long. That's almost the whole length of your entire arm. So if you look at all of these trees, the bottom halves are completely brown because they've been nibbling on it like all day long. While the top half is like... There was another type of animal over here on the right-hand side. Kind of next to those giraffes, very large horns. They're called Ankole cattle. They are the only domesticated animal here on the reserve. Now, inside of those horns are like little honeycombs where blood can circulate all throughout it to help it regulate its body temperature. They give it almost as their own little personal AC system. Words are hard. So because of that honeycomb structure, those horns are completely lightweight. They're not heavy at all. And for those who are wondering, yes, they are descendants of the Texas Longhorns. And so they look very similar. Okay, but we're now in elephant country, guys. I'm already spotting one over here on the right side. And one way you can tell it's an African elephant is by looking at the shape of its ear, because it resembles the continent of Africa. Asian elephant ears are just a little smaller. I put my last row, if you guys can see, I'll just drop it so they have on that. Now, he is a fully grown male elephant, so some of them can be as tall as 12 feet, weighing between 10 to 13,000 pounds. So they are extremely heavy. So the age of adulthood for elephants is 13 to 15 years old. Ours is 18, so they do have the second longest childhood. Of course, we have the first. But when the males get, you can still see him. I just look behind your shoulder on the right. But when male elephants get to their age of adulthood, they start to annoy the females so much that they get kicked out from their herds. So they have to wander off by themselves or join a group of bachelor elephants. And the largest group of bachelor elephants ever recorded is 144. So while the males leave the herd, the females, they stay together and help raise their young. So hopefully once we cross over this bridge, we'll get the chance to see those female elephants. Now I know it doesn't look safe, guys, but don't worry. It recently had some repairs done. The zip ties are doing an amazing job of holding up these trucks. So yeah, we're fine. See? Nothing to worry about. It's glad they finally fixed that bridge. So you're going to start to notice some elephant tusk marks. They're all over the right-hand side of the wall. Those are red flake pits. Elephants love to eat them, so it contains a lot of nutrients and minerals that are very important to an elephant's diet. So think of it as the equivalent of them eating vitamin gummies or like the Flintstone vitamins and the really choppy ones. They're kind of gross. Not the same thing. Okay, so the rest of the elephants are just over here on the left-hand side behind all of these trees. They are the females and they are young. They are led by a matriarch elephant who plays a very important part within the herd. The matriarch is responsible for knowing the best places to find food and water. Also remember any forms of signs of danger to look out for so she can warn and protect the rest of the herd. So if, before she passes away, she'll pass that information down to the next matriarch. And you can see the baby elephant. So if you see the baby baobab tree to the left of it, she's going back there. No, come back this way. There's a while she was there. An elephant can actually be pregnant up to 22 months. That is about 2 years. So it's a very long time for one elephant to be born. And about 97 are being poached every day for their ivory tusks.
Is that the one that was born 2 years ago?
Yes, it is.
No, we saw it then.
You saw it back then? She's a little nugget. Oh
Yeah.
my gosh, she's grown so much. Yeah, so she's 2 years old for those who are wondering.
That was the one. It's around the corner. It's behind that tree. Remember, it was like falling over the log and it was rolling around.
Yeah, I was hoping she'd come back this way, but I guess not. We are moving a little slowly over here, guys. But they are coming up are some greater flamingo. But I'm gonna just hang tight right here. You have the truck in front of us, some space.
I think that's
You have a private safari in front of that. They're gonna take a
in
long
the middle.
time. Okay, now I can go. Yeah, these are the greater flamingos. They are the lightest of all flamingo species. It does make sense because lesser flamingos are like really vibrant and pink, so it's like kind of the opposite. Now they do get the light pink color from their diet. They're going to consume things like brine and shrimp, which is very high in beta carotene, which will give them that light pink color. So a group of them is called the flamboyants, and they also stand on one leg to help regulate their walk. So a lot of them definitely be here just on the outskirts of the little island, standing up on one leg right now. We're now making our way through the eastern part of the savannah. So it's not as spacious as the other. There's a lot of trees and bushes. Kind of gives these animals a better opportunity to hide. So we're really going to have to put our eyes to the test as we drive by. Okay, there is a white rhino. Coming on the right-hand side. We'll definitely see it again. I just want to point it out because there's not much over here. So they weigh around 5,000 pounds. They are 2,000 pounds heavier than the black rhino that we saw earlier. So there's two really big differences aside from being a whole lot bigger. Black rhinos have like really straight mounts because they always like kind of graze off from the ground. While black rhinos have like a prehensile upper lip that will allow them to grab leaves for bushes. Also, when it gets later on in the day, they're going to roll around in that mud pit on the left. So they'll completely cover their bodies in it. Use that mud as a natural sunblock. Also, as a great bugger belly. Alright guys, I have been having a lot of trouble spotting out some of the animals that live over here on the left. Okay, actually I found her. So, left hand side. You see this like first hill? The second hill on the farther back side. Let me just scooch up because then I can use some trees to help me identify where she's at. So, if you look at, there's like this broken log in front of us, right? Then there's a hill. And then there's like two trees in the back, kind of parallel to each other. There is a cheetah hiding in the back left. Yeah, it's hard to see her, but they're the fastest land mammals, running from 0 to 60 in about 3 seconds. So for those who are able to see her, awesome. Glad you got to see her, but if not, I'm very sorry. That truck behind me just pulled them out of nowhere. I wasn't able to really like stop and easily indicate that. We're going to circle around this great big rock formation. These are called Kofi rocks. So they make an excellent standing point for predators to use them as a watchtower to look for prey. So I think we have already missed the lions. It's really hot out. These Kofi rocks start to get really hot. The lions don't want to lay out on hot rocks. They're probably inside of their caves right now. If you guys were hoping to see them, if you're here all day long, come back for a night safari. We'll start around 7:30, 7:45, and they go up until 9 o'clock tonight. And the wait time is usually a whole lot shorter than it is during the day. But I will say this about the lions, within the past century, 80% of the lion population has decreased. So we're down to 20,000 lions that are left in the world right now, guys. But you guys can totally help them out with the Disney Conservation Fund is doing. They are teaming up with the Lion Recovery Fund to double that amount up to 40,000 by the year 2050. So if you again like want to help out, you can always take a donation over at any merchandise shop, but specifically the one here in Africa, because you get a little bit of addition to Disney Conservation Fund button for helping them out. Or if you purchase like a water bottle or anything, find up to the nearest dollar. Oh, now over on the right, couple ostriches. So they are the largest of all birds, and no, they cannot fly, thank goodness. But they will use their wings to change in direction when they're running, and they can run up to 40 miles an hour. And they're the fastest. They have 2 legs, and all 3 of them are females because their feathers are gray. Male ostriches have like black feathers. Yeah, we definitely miss these lions. I know I did see them on my last 2-week safari. Sorry, guys. And if you guys don't feel like donating either, because I know money can be tight here and there, and you can always just ride a safari. If you come back on the week of July 19th for any annual pass holder, if you ride a safari, then there's a conservation fund for donating $2 per person to the Lion Recovery Fund. It's up to $350,000. You can always do that too. On the left, to the left of this tree, there's 2 warthogs that are sleeping. I don't know if you guys can see them.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so they're on the ground. They look like rocks. You can see a little bit of its tusks kind of curved up a little bit. The warthogs are related to the domestic pig. Their tusk areas are sharp, which allows them to make burrows. They're just a little bit more on the lazier side. They prefer to steal other animal burrows instead. So we're all going to get, we can see the ostriches once again over on the right. The same rhino that we saw earlier with the rest of the group. Now, a group of rhinos is called a crash. They can't really see all that well, so they will rely heavily on their other senses like their hearing and their smelling to get around. Now, also on the right-hand side on the ground underneath the tree are a couple ostrich eggs. Those eggs weigh around 3 pounds each. That's equivalent to 2 dozen chicken eggs. And a human weighing up to 250 pounds can sit on top of them without breaking out. They're very strong. That shell is about a 1/4 inch thick. But when those ostrich eggs finally hatch, an ostrich chick is roughly around the same size of an adult chicken. And you guys got to see how tall those ostriches were. They get to that height around 4 months old, so they're very big birds, and they can live up to be 50 years old. I caught it to the strip real quick. Gonna give them some space. Okay, back here. So I apologize for the bass on my truck. It's been like my microphone. So it kind of sounds like I'm really heavily, but I'm not. It's just the AC or the wind too. Now, last and final area that we're just going to drive through is called the Magadi Glen. So there were a couple animals that used to reside here, but you know, due to migration patterns, you see some of them may have migrated or they could just be hiding very well. I don't think we're going to see them right here, guys. Just a little heads up, it is going to be a little bumpy as we try to exit out from the reserve, and also very, very slow because I can't get too close to the truck. But that does conclude our journey throughout the Harambe Wildlife Reserve here at Kilimanjaro Safari. So a lot of the animals that we saw here are endangered. They also suffer from extreme habitat loss. So one way that you can help protect them is by making contribution to the Disney Conservation Funds. I already talked about how you can help out the lions. Disney does double that amount. So if you were to donate 50 cents, then they would donate 50 cents. So you technically donate $1, and you do get a really cool fun out of it as well. For those who don't know, Rafiki's Planet Watch has officially reopened again, so definitely don't forget to check that out. Of course, for those who don't remember, there is a petting zoo. Now you can earn some Wilderness Explorer badges in there. There's even like a veterinary clinic where you can see some flying procedures done on some of these animals. So I know before it closed, when I went in there one time, I got to see one of the lions kind of like on the table. It was really cool. So I don't know if they're still doing that right now, because I haven't really gone there yet. And then they do it at certain specific times. And usually early in the morning is when they do a lot of cool things in there. And I think they also have eating breeds with like roasted meat or but they do have eating breeds in there. And they're, again, like I said, petting zoo. That's always fun. And they now added a new animation academy. You can learn how to draw some of the Lion King characters. So I know like you can learn how to draw Simba or Pumbaa. So it's really cool. The last training will leave at 4:30 today, and it'll officially close today at 5 o'clock. So don't forget to check out. So here we do not like to say goodbye. It is a little sad. Also, it's a bit too final. Instead, we like to say Kwaharini, which means to go well. So Kwaharini, everyone. Go well and wild. It was a pleasure driving you around the Harambe Wildlife Reserve. Again, my name is Bree like the cheese.